Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Let me explain to you how actually finding your purpose will help you quit your addiction to pornography. You see, one of the reasons why you constantly watch porn, why you constantly find yourself in this addiction, and why you even have time to engage in this habit, to engage in this addiction, is because you actually have time to engage in this addiction. Instead of using that precious time in order to do your purpose, in order to work on your purpose, and in order to do something of productive, and in order to do things that will actually benefit you, you're just wasting your time watching pornography. Other reasons being is that your life is not that enjoyable for you. There's nothing in your life that is giving you that dopamine, that is giving you that drive, that's giving you that motivation to carry on. So what is giving you that drive, that motivation? Masturbating to pornography. What is the one thing that you have time to do? It is to watch pornography. If you actually had a purpose in your life, and if you were actually doing things that were enjoyable but not haram, but that will also be beneficial to you, and that will also be somewhat of a good deed at the same time, if you were doing these things, you would not even have the time to be watching pornography, and you would not be watching pornography the amount that you are watching right now. Think about this. If you are actually chasing your purpose, you would realize that pornography will not help you get to your purpose whatsoever. Because number one, it's a complete waste of time. And number two, the energy that you would have in order to achieve your purpose will be zapped from you because you're constantly watching pornography. You see, all that drive, all that motivation that you have will be stripped because you're watching too much pornography. Because the way it works is when you watch pornography, your dopamine goes high, your dopamine spikes to a level above baseline. But then once it's over, once you've ejaculated, it drops even lower than baseline. And when you realize this, when you realize that pornography does this to you, you will realize just how much of a problem pornography is. You will realize that it's just gonna make me less motivated. It's just gonna make me less thrilled to seek out amazing things. So you're gonna drop the addiction. Furthermore, if your life was more enjoyable, if you actually did something that is enjoyable and fun and productive at the same time, you would not have you would be thinking, I don't need to watch pornography. I'm already getting all the excitement, all the joy out of all these good habits. So why should I watch pornography? Ask yourself, why do you think it is that you have enough time to masturbate 5 times a day? Why do you think that it is that at night time you watch pornography for hours and hours on end? You watch pornography until what, 1 a.m., 2 a.m.? You're watching pornography for all that time. It is because you actually do not have a purpose. If you had a purpose, you would be thinking to yourself, I need to wake up with enough energy to accomplish my goals and to accomplish my purpose the next day. So I'm gonna get an early sleep. I'm not gonna waste my time with pornography. I'm gonna get an early sleep in. On the other hand, those final hours of your day that you spend on watching pornography will be replaced by doing something that's more productive, because it depends on your daily schedule. Some of you might be working on your purpose until 1 a.m. or 2 a.m. Some of you might be like that. You'll be working on your purpose at that time instead of watching pornography. How do you find your purpose? How do you find things to do to replace the habit of watching porn and masturbating to porn? This is how you find this purpose. And what I want you to do is to actually write down exactly what I'm telling you. I'm going to give you a series of questions for you to ask yourself. And what you should do with these questions is actually write them down and actually answer them. When you answer these questions, within the answer to these questions, you will find your purpose. You will find what it is that you need to do in your life. And that thing that you will do in life will replace your habit of watching porn and masturbating to porn, because it will be much more important than you constantly watching and masturbating to pornography. Alright, the first question that you ask yourself, again, write this question down and answer it as well for yourself. The first question is, if you were already rich and successful and you had everything that you wanted, what kind of work would you still be doing? Let's say you had everything in the world. You had the nice house, the nice mansion. you had 4 wives, you had or 1 wife, whatever it is that you're into. You had all the fancy cars, all the fancy watches. And if you were already a practicing Muslim man, you already did Hajj, you already went for Umrah, what would you still be doing? The reason why this question is so great for you to ask is once you've gotten to that high point, you still have something to keep fighting for. You still have something that will get you moving, that will get you going. There are many people who have achieved their goal. They won the gold medal in the Olympics. They won the belt in boxing. And after that, things just went downhill. They started doing drugs, they started partying, they started cheating on their wives. Another reason why this question is so important is because once you actually get that success, once you actually get what it is that you want, what then? What would you be doing after that? Of course, as Muslims, we have an inbuilt purpose. We have a God-given purpose. Our purpose is to worship Allah and to spread Islam throughout the rest of the world. But what is the one thing that makes you yourself stand out? What is the one thing that you can do that will actually make Allah proud of you? Let me use myself as an example. If I was already successful, if I had everything that I already wanted, I would help Muslim men become stronger. Whether it's physically stronger by learning how to fight, lifting the heaviest weights, and just being able to have a lot of physical endurance. And I would help them become mentally stronger as well, like helping them believing in themselves, helping them go through a lot of hardship and trials, and just helping them become firm and strong on their deen. That is what I would help them with. I would also be giving more da'wah. If I was already successful, this is the thing that I would be doing. And you also need to ask yourself why. The reason why is because I want a world where the Muslim Ummah is at the very top, where Muslims and Islam are at the top, where Muslims are the greatest, where Muslims are the ones who help everybody else out. I want a world where the Ummah and Muslims are helping others to become better people, that are helping society and the world to advance, like it was back in the scientific golden age of Islam, like it was back in the Ottoman Empire, where Muslims were actually benefiting other human beings, where Muslims were benefiting themselves and society at large. And they were helping other people convert to Islam as well. That is the kind of world I want. If we have strong Muslim men, then we'll have a strong Ummah as well, because make no mistake, men are the leaders of the Ummah. Men are the ones who push the Ummah forwards. That is why I want to help Muslim men become stronger. What is your purpose? What is the thing that you actually want to do? The other question I want you to ask yourself is, what is the problem or pain in your life that you had and that you have actually solved? The reason why this question is important is because it helps you think about things other than just pleasing yourself. Via watching porn and masturbation, it makes you think that other people are going through hardship, other people are going through pain. So let me put in the effort to actually helping other people, actually helping other human beings. Your purpose can be based on solving a problem that you yourself have solved. The problem that I have solved for myself and that I can help other people solve is the problem of being unproductive, the problem of not being being lazy and not really having a purpose, which is actually what I'm doing in this video. You might have solved a problem in your life. What problem might it have been? Maybe you used to be out of shape and then you got yourself into shape. Maybe you used to not have any confidence and then you decided to work on your confidence. A problem I used to have is my communication used to be terrible. Whenever I used to speak on camera or whenever I used to speak on people, I used to speak in this bland and monotonous kind of way. So I decided to work on that. I of course had some help from Daniel and Haida. Shout out to Daniel and Haida. They also helped me to solve this problem of mine. So your purpose can be based on solving your problem and helping others solve that problem as well. And if you haven't solved a problem for yourself yet, if you think that you're still a degenerate loser who masturbates to porn, who eats junk food, then think of a problem that you can solve from yourself when you're in that position. And make your purpose based on solving that problem for yourself, so that you can help others solve that problem as well. Maybe you have a problem with porn addiction. Your problem can be based on solving that porn addiction so that you can help others solve that problem as well. Maybe your problem is that you're so unproductive that you procrastinate all the time. Your purpose in life could be based on not being so lazy and not procrastinating so that you can help others be more productive, and so that you can help others stop procrastinating. Pick a problem based on solving your problem. Next question, and this question is actually going to be very deep. What pain or problem do other people go through that actually make you cry? What problem do people go through that make you actually upset? The reason why this question is so important is because you realize that there are more important things than pornography, that there are more important things than just pleasing yourself. You will realize that pornography does not actually solve this problem that makes you upset, that makes you cry. Because let's say there's a problem that is actually making you cry, that's making you upset, and you masturbate to relieve that pain, to relieve that pressure. You will really realize that that pain is still there. The problem that people go through, the pain of what people go through and how it makes you feel is still there. That pain will still be there. Masturbation has not solved that. So your purpose could be removing the thing that actually makes you upset, removing the suffering that other people go through that actually make you upset. Let me use myself as an example. The thing that people go through that actually makes me upset is men's suffering. All the things that men suffer through actually make me upset. The fact that men have no confidence in themselves, the fact that men think that in order to accomplish that they need to be this nice guy that simps for women and that's submissive to society, that actually makes me upset. The fact that men do every single thing that society tells them and they still feel like crap, they still feel terrible about themselves, they are still depressed, that actually makes me upset. The fact that men did everything that society and teachers and maybe even their manipulated parents and women told them to do, and they are still failing, they are still upset. They are not succeeding in life. That is the thing that makes me upset. The thing that makes me upset is men's suffering. The fact that most men commit suicide, the fact that most men are homeless, the fact that men are being alienated from their kids and society doesn't really care. That is the thing that makes me upset. That is the thing that gets me to tears. You need to find the one thing that gets you to tears. You need to find the one thing that makes you upset, and your purpose could be based on removing the thing that makes you upset. It could be based on stopping the thing that causes others pain. For you, it might be the fact that Muslims are suffering. The fact that the woke media is portraying Muslims to be evil, even though Muslims are not even evil. Your pain could be based on the fact that there are people out there who are struggling, who are hungry, who are in poverty, and the world is not doing enough to solve that problem. The fact that the world is so selfish, that could be your purpose, solving world hunger. The next question that you need to ask yourself, what do you actually hate in this world? The thing that I hate in this world, I'll use myself as an example. The thing that I hate in this world is pornography and other things that make men weak. Things that make men weak and things that corrupt the women. Whether it's the woke media and social justice warriors, whether it's feminism and also pornography and OnlyFans. These things, they weaken men and they corrupt women as well. They weaken men because instead of actually achieving their purpose, they're distracted by pornography. And it also corrupts women because women think that I can get what I want out of men. Women are going to think that in order to get the attention of men, I need to be this hoe online. I need to be this kind of woman who gives herself up to men, who has nothing to offer other than her body. Make no mistake, this actually corrupts women. Feminism as well. Feminism has you think that this is empowering. That doing whatever you want as a woman is so empowering. And this is the thing that I hate in this world. This is the one thing that I actually want to remove from this world. You need to have something like that for yourself as well. What do you actually want to remove from this world? The next question, What is the thing that you're actually obsessed with? The thing that I'm obsessed with is, in a nutshell, things that make men powerful. Fighting, lifting weights, becoming mentally stronger, winning debates. I love watching Muslim men destroy atheists and others in debates. The way you find the thing that you're obsessed with is, what is the one thing that you constantly think about? What is the one thing that you absolutely love to watch? What is the one thing that keeps you up at night, and not pornography, okay? Other than pornography and other than sex. What is the thing that you're obsessed with? What is the thing that keeps you up at night? What is the thing that you constantly think about, again, other than sex? The thing that I am obsessed with, in a nutshell, is the sort of activities that actually make men stronger. The reason why this question is important is because this new obsession that we'll have will replace your habit of masturbating to porn. Your obsession could be chasing that strength, could be chasing the ability in order to excel in debates. Let's give video games for example. Okay, this might be a terrible obsession, but bear with me here. I'm actually getting somewhere with this. Let's say you're obsessed with video games. Let's say you're obsessed with fighting games like Metal Gear Rising or Street Fighter or Tekken. Let's say you're obsessed with fighting video games. Maybe it's not necessarily the video game that you're obsessed with. Maybe you're obsessed with the fighting aspect. The fact that you can be such a spectacular fighter. The fact that you can fight in such an amazing and flawless and spectacular kind of way. Maybe it's the competitive aspect of the video games. Let's say you're obsessed with games like FIFA and NFL and NBA Live 2005 or whatever. Let's say you're obsessed with this kind of game. NBA Live 2005 is an old game, but NBA Live 2026, if it's even out there. Maybe you're obsessed with competition. Maybe it's the competition aspect that you're obsessed with. RPG games. Maybe it's not necessarily the RPG element that you're obsessed with. Maybe you're obsessed with. Your obsession could be based on leveling up in your life. Leveling up your physique, leveling up your attractiveness, leveling up your deed. Okay? Instead of leveling up in a video game, you can level up in real life. You see how obsession of video games, for example, could morph into your obsession with real life. What kind of movies are you obsessed with as well? If you're obsessed with fighting movies, you're obsessed with uprising movies, watching underdogs rising, your obsession will be based on rising from as an underdog. Or maybe if you watch the kind of movies where you watch the evil person turning into a good person, your obsession could be based on going from evil, going from a degenerate to morphing into a greater man, into a greater human being. That is how your obsession could help you quit the habit of masturbation to porn. Your obsession to leveling up as a person, your obsession will replace your obsession with pornography and lust and seeking women. The next question that I want you to ask yourself is this: what would you invest in that could actually improve your life? And once you make that investment, because it will be a big investment, once you make that investment, your purpose could be a return on that investment. For me, the thing that I was willing to pay for is improving my communication, improving my speaking abilities. Because I knew if I improve my speaking abilities, my messages will not fall on deaf ears. I knew that if I improve my speaking abilities, and if I communicated to people in real life, people would actually hear what I had to say. So I invested, again, shout out to Daniel and Haida, I invested into a full-on program that Daniel and Haida had that would improve your communication abilities. It is to a point where now when I communicate with people, they actually want to hear what I have to say. They actually pay attention and listen to me when I actually speak. Because I no longer speak in this mundane, boring, and monotonous kind of way. So people actually listen to what I have to say. That was an improvement in my life. You need to find something that you can invest in. It could be improving your physique. It could be getting a more aesthetic body. You realize that women aren't really that attracted to you. You realize that people don't really respect you because people actually respect you based on how you look. And you realize that, so you say, okay, let me go out there and improve on my looks. Let me go out there and improve on my physique. So you say to yourself, let me invest in a program that will actually improve on my looks, that will actually improve on my physique. And that's the end of the video. Assalamu alaikum and take care.